Well, a very good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the second day of the European Touch Junior Championships 2019, live from Paris. After a fantastic opening day, we've got another fantastic morning and afternoon's action of touch rugby to come, and we start with the mixed 18s category as England take on Scotland. Both sides at the top of the table. England currently in the second position, Scotland in third. Both after playing 3 games. England 3-0 at the moment, so great start to their tournament yesterday. And Scotland with 2 victories in that only loss yesterday. But we are underway then in our first game of day 2, and already England make a first error and Scotland have the opportunity to attack from the halfway. And over the 10-metre mark they go, going to a more central route. And again, an error. 2 errors in the opening 30 seconds for either side, and now England can now attack. Nice movement, over halfway they come. Well, an error. String opening minute then of this second day here in Paris, and here comes Scotland.
Come on.
Looking to drive forward. Can they get the opening score of the day? And it was Malcolm Wilkinson who was there just through the middle, the number 8. And now here come England over the 10-metre mark, running a sub move. Fresh legs coming on. Good yardage made up on the halfway line. Looking to drive for the line. Can they get there? Lovely feet. And over the line they go. And that's the first score of the morning. And it is England's. And what a start. And what a lovely individual move it was. Lovely little layoff. Saw the space. Callum Smith, the number 11 for Scotland, just couldn't get round in time. And England 1 up inside the opening couple of minutes. How does Scotland reply then? Benjamin Ward is there in the middle for Scotland. Supported by Tweedy. Running a sub move again, England. Fresh faces on after a error-stricken opening minute. England, mean business now. Going for the middle, space opening up. Can they execute it? Oh, and it's just behind them and couldn't be picked up. And it will be a turnover.
Off.
And here come England again. Can they get the second of the morning? They've really adapted well since making those couple of errors in the opening minutes. In a good position here, just on the edge of the Scotland 5 metre. Waiting for that touch to come. Can they work some space out wide? And what a critical touch it could be. No, the referee's going to give it, and England are 2 up. It was Carl Macmillan who was coming in for that touch, just couldn't get there in time. And Scotland find themselves 2 down. In come England once again, all the momentum, the wind in their sails at the moment. And just as they were looking to try and come forward again for that third score, Scotland have a reprieve, and now they can come again. Again though, and they're just these new subs coming on, have to do all the work now, coming in from an awkward position over on that far side. And over the halfway line they come. And Scotland just need to compose themselves here. Every time they're getting close to that goal line, they're just making that critical error that is costing them at the moment. And England, since that opening minutes, have rectified those early mistakes and looking good at the moment, looking to go out wide. Space opening up, going through. And waiting for the referee's confirmation. Oh, just a tap on the line. It was a fantastic touch then to stop that score from happening. No, England off straight away. Go for the line again, diving. Oh, and the referee's going to confirm it, and England have their third. Let's have another look at this one again. Oh, just squeezed in between. And England have got off to a great start then in the opening 8 minutes here in Paris. Referee's just telling him to bring it back. Wanted to get things underway quickly. Scotland want to try and get a grasp in this, get a foothold back into this one. It's been a whirlwind start for them. Over halfway line they go. Great yardage made up, and that's really got them up the other end of the field and where they want to be. Jamie Love with that fantastic run there in the middle. Monty Dunlap now. Back into the middle for Jamie Love. A turnover and possession, and England now can try and get themselves up the other end of the field. Again, running that sub move again. They're doing it well as well. The subs coming on with momentum as they look to go forward. Stopped in their tracks, and Scotland now have a bit of a reprieve. Over halfway line they come towards the 10 metre. Always making really good yardage every time. England coming forward, weaving in and out. Good footwork. Oh, just that slip on the line. Looked like he was going in. Oh, loss of control just on the 5 metre, and gives Scotland the chance to try and forge something from their own half. Oh, but again, vital and critical errors for Scotland, and now a chance really for England to try and get their 4th score of this first half. Fresh set of 6 as well. Great opportunity now. England currently lying second in the table. 2 wins and a draw, with France at the top of the mixed 15s. Having to come back from deep, it's wasn't the greatest of sub moves there from Scotland, but they have built up the momentum again over halfway. Oh, Carl McMillan just couldn't grasp it, as it was just fell to the floor, and England now looking to try and come forward. Oh, great touch from McMillan, stopping the England man from getting away. Really put the afterburners on there. Over the 10 metre line they come. What are they going to do this time?
Wrong side, Liv! Wrong side!
Just waiting for the options. You'll see this in touch rugby. It's not always gun-ho approach. They'll just wait for that perfect opportunity. Figure out the way through. Are they going to do it this time? Going for the line. Dive comes early. No touch, and it is a 4 for England. Well, they did think about it, and it worked. Lovely individual run, and the space just opened up. Todd Whiteman just couldn't get that touch in time, the number 16 for Scotland. An interesting fact about Todd Whiteman, the number 16 for Scotland. His brother is running the water for the referees, and he's also the youngest level 2 referee in Europe. A fantastic achievement. England coming forward. Every time they seem to come forward, England, with a sense of purpose and a good acceleration in their step. On the halfway line now. Well, turnover now for Scotland. And these parts of the game, especially in these 20 minutes forms of touch rugby, are just so critical. If they can get a score before the break, just give them a bit of momentum going into the second half. Over the 10-metre mark they come. They've made errors in front of the England goal line. They can't be making many more of those if they want to try and get back into this one. Oh, and again, it's just not been their half for Scotland. I'm sure they'll have a chat at half-time. But England building momentum again nicely. Need to go left in a central route. Space opening up potentially. Lovely pass over. Was it slightly forward? Referee getting the all clear from his fellow colleagues and confirms the score. And England have 5 in this first half. And again, it's a lovely team move. So 3.5 remaining then of this first half. Can Scotland get something to cling on to going into the break and into the second half? What can they do about it? Todd Whiteman going in for the line. Good touch. Oh, manages to, does he cling on? No, referee. Just bringing it back for Scotland. And they've done it, laying it off on again. You can see the frustration for Scotland. Just these moves are not coming off of them. And again, well, that's the first time we've seen it since the opening minute. England making a rare mistake on the halfway line. Gives Scotland the opportunity to try and drive forward now. And they've done it. With Todd Whiteman, he makes way. Well, the referee spotted something and he's not happy with it. And England now have the chance. It's been an error-stricken first half for the Scots. Something they'll definitely have a word about at the break. Oh, now a fresh set of 6 for England. A good opportunity now to try and finish this first half on aplomb. Let's see if they can get their 6. Space opening up potentially. Good touch just before the line. Alistair Paul coming in. Oh, a lovely move. Oh, but good covering defence from Scotland. And a spear there. And And Scotland, well, they defend that one well. That will give them just a little boost. Anything they can take. Look at England's high defensive line, putting pressure on early, trying to get as many touches in on this Scotland team before they can reach the halfway. It's good pressure from England. The good yards made up by Scotland. Good individual work by Matt Robertson. Over the halfway line they come. Pratt, can he try and work something for Hannah Dunnett? No, they can't, and turnover of only a couple of seconds to go. And England will be content if they know how many seconds they are to come in this first half, just to run down the clock. Over the 10-metre mark they come. And that brings an end then to the first half of this second day here in Paris for the European Touch Championships 2019. And England have had a fantastic first half. After an error-stricken opening minutes for both sides, England have taken control and lead by 5 points to 0. Scotland have got a lot of work to do if they're going to come back into this one. But at the break, England leading by 5 points to 0 as we look at that table. That was for the under-8. This is for the under-18s girls. Under-18s boys. Only England, Wales and Scotland in that category. England currently leading the way. We have 2 played and 2 wins over Wales and Scotland. And look at that. Points for and against as well. We look at the under-18s mixed. The 3 home nations at the top there. Wales, England and Scotland leading the way. Wales and England currently level on points, but it's Wales' points difference currently puts them on top. And there is the under-15s mix. England in second and Scotland in fifth at the moment. France leading the way. Played 3-1-3, and look at that points difference. A healthy margin for the French side. We'll be back with you then in a couple of minutes' time for the second half of this under-15s mixed England versus Scotland. England at the break leading by 5 points to 0. So here we go then, second half underway here in Paris, and our first game of day 2. And England currently in cruise control, leading by 5 points to 0 at the break. What can Scotland do about it? They need a strong start to this second half if they're going to try and get back into this. It would be some miracle, wouldn't it, for the Scots? Good covering defence by England, just stopping number 9, Abby Maitland, going in on that far side. But positive start for Scotland. Can they try and defend? And already good defensive pressure from the Scots, getting high up on this England attacking line. And that's what you want to see. And can England try and nullify that? Again, coming in with strong momentum as they did in the first half. Looking to try and weave their way through. Needs that support as the half. He gets that support. And England get off to a fantastic start in this second, just as they did in the first. And England now are 6 up. There was no covering defence there for the Scots, and England now start the second half in fine fashion. And a lot of this England side, a lot of it, even though they're so young, a lot of good competitions under their belts. 3 of the team won bronze at the JCT's 2018, the Junior Touch Champs. Flory, Max and Olivia all involved in that, getting the bronze medal at the JCT's last year. And they certainly mean business this morning, the mixed 15 side. Well, they tried to work the ball almost towards their subs box to get those new guys on. Oh, and a critical mistake just on the 10 metre. Weather conditions could be just playing a part here. It's overcast in Paris. Could be just making the ball a bit greasy and hard to control. If you saw any of our coverage of the Belief Elite National Touch Series, saw the changing weather conditions throughout that series in Banbury, Oxford and Manchester. Almost from one extreme to the next compared to Manchester and Oxford. In Manchester it was torrential rain, it was awful conditions, and we saw some difficult touch being played. Oh, and that's a poor mistake from Scotland, and disappointed himself there. And England get the opportunity inside the Scotland half with a fresh set of 6 to try and attack the line. Just loss of control, and it was. I think the ball is playing its part. The weather is having its say this morning in Paris. Ball's played out wide. Watched it like a hawk, and through and slips on the line, but still gets it. And England are 7 up. Did very well to compose herself. She watched the ball straight into her midriff. And a lovely turn away. And you can just see she was going to slip onto her back, but she controlled herself and got the ball down. And England are 7 up. Yeah, talking about the changing weather conditions in Manchester, to torrential rain, to a couple of weeks later in Oxford where it was sun-soaked, 33 degrees at one point in Oxford. But here in Paris, overcast conditions to say the least in day 2. And have Scotland got their first score of the morning? Just waiting for referee's confirmation. No, they haven't. Oh, and that's an opportunity that goes begging Here come England again. Lovely footwork. Just a spring in the step of this England side. Well, the mixed 15s competition, it's great to see so many youngsters coming through the touch rugby format. And we've spoken a lot in previous tournaments throughout the summer season about the importance of these youngsters coming through. Oh, and Scotland going in on the line. Dalmo Perez. He's just, was he going to have a word with the referee? Oh, and Scotland now miss on that chance. And that's 2 in this second half that they could have got. And England now still have that clean sheet intact as it stands. And it could come down to points difference, you never know. Again, England driving through the middle of a sense of purpose, opening up. Almost 4 against 2. Oh, and Scotland survived that one somehow. You see having to wait for those subs to come round and get in support. Good run from Hannah Dunnett though, trying to make up those yards for Scotland. Down the middle, Macmillan. Over halfway line it comes. Dunnett trying to lay the ball off and find Katie Binstead. But it's just loose grip, and England now have the turnover inside their own half on the 10-metre mark. Oh, a lovely take from behind it. Had to swivel round to get it. And England now carry on. They're just timing these sub-moves really nicely, England, as they look to go on the attack. And they're coming on when they're in the flow compared to Scotland. The thing is, at this age, you will learn a lot from these experiences, and they'll come out of this competition with a lot more understanding and experience. Still games to play, of course. Alistair Paul there just almost getting ahead of himself and slipping. And England looking to come again. Well, with England being 7 up, it's a good opportunity maybe to try out some new moves, some new techniques. Looking to go forward. England's next game in the 15s mixed will be against the Czech Republic. And Scotland's next game will be taking on Ireland. That's at 12 o'clock. England-Czech Republic game will be available for you to watch. That's at 12:50. Good touch by England and good defensive work rate, and they win the ball back. England's defence has just been as good as their attack. Really put the pressure on Scotland all the time. Although an opportunity now for Scotland, just on the edge of the 5 metre. Referee deemed seeing something, and 6 passes now to try and work something. 6 touches. Let's see what they can do with it. Oh, what a fantastic touch that was, diving in. Last gasp, he only must have got a finger on the man. Alistair Paul with the cap on and the yellow boots, looking to try and go for Scotland. Here he is again. And second time around, still can't get through. Good defensive work by England. Well, a lot of these players, 6 of the squad for England. They won gold at the Nationals last year, playing for the Mixed 15 South East Mavericks, and coached by the England Mixed 15's team manager Matt Kerr. So a lot of them know each of the styles and patterns of play, which helps massively. And I'm sure from an England touch point of view, I'd love to see these guys develop and be pushing on and playing a lot. Will have been inspired by the World Cup a couple of months ago in Malaysia. A lot of talk about Malaysia, and the heat, of course, being one of the big talking points, but apart from that, being a great World Cup. And a lot of these youngsters being inspired to try and aim for those goals. And England looking to come in again. And England do get their 8th. And frustration just starting to creep in now. Even more so for Scotland. Here is Alistair Paul coming in, claiming that touch, but he almost just appeared out of nowhere. But England have their 8th of the morning. Well, Scotland looking to try and come forward and seeing if they can get a score on the board. 5th touch, so 1 remaining. Can they try and work something? Produce a bit of magic. Oh, good defensive pressure from England once again. And just looking at the results, Scotland picked up a solitary win of the competition so far against the UAE yesterday. 6-4 victory. And they were beaten by France and Czech Republic in their other games yesterday. And England, early doors yesterday, were involved in a bit of a thriller against Wales, 6 apiece. Let's have another look at this one again then. Space opened up on that far side. And England have their 9th and are in total control. England then recorded yesterday a crushing victory over the UAE by 12 points to 3. a good solid victory over Switzerland as well, and of course now well on the way for their third victory of the competition in the round robin format. And a good start to their second day, and Scotland just can't get any way through at the moment. Oh, this is good early work though, defensive work from Scotland, and where's this been in the rest of the match? And that good early pressure has forced England into a mistake, and Scotland now, can they try and get a score or maybe even two before full time? That would give them just a little bit of a boost going into their next game against Ireland later on today. Robin Pratt laying it off to his left. Here is Pratt again, supported by Robertson. Oh, just a loose pass again. Robin Pratt. England coming forward nicely. Over the 10-metre mark they come. Nice work again. Now England really do have a good opportunity now to try and add a 10th. Let's see if they can do that. Touch claimed by Matt Robertson. Oh, but England do have their 10th, and caps thrown on the floor and more frustration creeping in. It was a lovely move from England, and just that communication just getting let down. Matt Robertson claimed the touch, and the space opened up between Robertson and Pratt. And England utilised it really well and have their 10th. Donetsk now. Oh, look to try and find Whiteman in the middle. Well, it's been a fantastic start for England then. Looking to try and build on this momentum throughout the day. And Scotland still many matches to come, and they'll have better outings than this. It's always hard playing the first game of the day. Sometimes you just need a match just to get the blood pumping and get those moves set. You always forget that most of the team, oh well, of course, both teams in the 15s mixed category. So well built, these guys, and look older than their age. Can Scotland, can they get a score just before the full-time hooter? No, they can't. And that is full-time then in our first game of day 2 here in Paris, and a convincing win for England over Scotland in the mixed 15s by 10 points to 0. What a start for England. They'll be looking to try and use that momentum going forward. And Scotland, well, they'll have some thinking to do going into their next game, which will be against Ireland later on. England will be taking on the Czech Republic. That'll be coming for you live here at 12:50. But our next game here at the European Touch Junior Championships 2019 will head to the mixed 18s categories, and we'll see the Netherlands take on Ireland. And you see both sides at the bottom of the table looking to try and record their first wins of the competition. Do stay with us. Our next game then will be coming up in a couple of moments' time. Netherlands taking on Ireland.